50 Cent is back doing what he does best, putting pressure on his longtime rival, Floyd Mayweather. But this time, he is not just cracking jokes or throwing petty shots on social media. He is dropping serious claims, pointing fingers, and stirring the pot with some heavy accusations that could catch the attention of federal investigators. The rapper-turned-mogul has come forward with bold statements, alleging that Floyd's wealth might not have come from just his skills in the ring, but also from shady financial dealings behind the scenes. According to 50, there are several people, especially in the boxing world, who were used and left behind in the process of building Floyd's empire. He claims some of Mayweather's business moves, especially after his fights, were far from clean. And as whispers of bankruptcy, fraud, and money mismanagement keep circling around Floyd, 50 is now doing more than just adding fuel to the fire. He is directing the flames. He is encouraging authorities to dig deeper into Mayweather's fight history and the way funds were handled once the gloves came off. To make things even more interesting, 50 also hinted at a missed opportunity that flew under most people's eye. Radar, a business venture Floyd was involved in that could have been open to others. Something like a cannabis company deal that never got the spotlight, but clearly had big money written all over it. The implication? Mayweather may have played gatekeeper to opportunities while controlling who got in and who got left out. This latest round in their ongoing feud feels different. It is no longer just about pride or social media jabs. It is about money, power, and truth coming to light. 50 Cent has peeled back yet another layer of the Floyd Mayweather saga, and this time, he's exposing why Mayweather has shifted most of his boxing events overseas. According to 50, Floyd has burned too many bridges with major venues across the United States. Places like the T-Mobile Arena, MGM Grand, and Barclays Center, arenas where Mayweather once made millions, are allegedly now off-limits to him due to outstanding debts. While venue owners have turned a blind eye in the past, mostly because of the huge profits he brought in, it seems even their patience is wearing thin. But the money trail does not end there. Cent did not hold back as he revisited his own personal fallout with Mayweather. He claimed he invested around $2 million into Mayweather Promotions during Floyd's time behind bars, trusting the bond they shared. But once Floyd was released, everything shifted. According to 50, Floyd, along with his longtime advisor Leonard Ellerbe and a circle of legal reps, began engaging in shady dealings. He accuses them of routinely tricking fighters during contract signings, promising them the world and delivering nothing but scraps. It is a betrayal that cuts deep, especially considering how close 50 and Floyd once were. Their friendship seemed unshakable, built on loyalty and success. But when asked what went wrong, 50 kept it blunt. He changed his mind. It was not some dramatic argument or public clash. It was a quiet switch, a decision Floyd made to walk away, leaving trust, money, and loyalty behind. Now, 50 Cent is not just speaking as a former friend. He is speaking as someone who feels used. And with each revelation, he is painting a picture of Mayweather that challenges the flashy image and raises questions about what might really be hiding behind the curtain of his so-called empire. Cent is not holding anything back. He has labeled Mayweather Promotions as nothing short of a scam, calling it the biggest Ponzi scheme he has ever seen. In his words, the entire operation was designed not to build up boxing, but to line Mayweather's pockets at the expense of everyone around him. According to 50, the scam ran deep. Opponents were misled. Business partners, including himself, were kept in the dark. And even fighters who signed under the banner of Mayweather Promotions were reportedly shortchanged. He claims Floyd used the company not as a real promotional platform, but as a tool to funnel money toward a carefully crafted illusion of wealth and success. What looked like a thriving boxing empire, 50 argues, was actually built on lies and manipulation. He accuses Mayweather of inflating numbers, misreporting earnings, and ensuring he walked away with the lion's share of the profits, while others got crumbs. The goal, according to 50, was never about growing the sport. It was about financing the luxury lifestyle Floyd always dreamed of, even if it meant scamming those closest to him. To 50 Cent, Mayweather Promotions is not a business. It is a mirage, a front that hides deceit behind bright lights and pay-per-view stats. And now, he is making sure the world sees through it. Cent is turning up the heat even more, now pulling back the curtain on what he says was the true nature of Mayweather Promotions, and it is even more alarming than anyone imagined. In a recent statement, 50 revealed that when Floyd asked him to help out with Mayweather Promotions while he was locked up, he agreed. But the moment he took at the heart of all this, Leonard Ellerbe. The fighter alleges that both Floyd and Ellerbe were involved in the manipulation and mistreatment, and once they could no longer make the kind of money they were used to, their alliance crumbled too. What started as a dream for so many young fighters became a nightmare. Behind the bright lights and luxury lifestyle was a cold system that, according to those who lived it, gave little, took much, and left them with scars, financial and emotional, that still linger. Scent is continuing to peel back the layers of his fractured relationship with Floyd Mayweather, revealing just how deep the betrayal cut. What started as a close friendship and promising business venture eventually unraveled into a full-blown feud, one that spilled onto social media and into radio interviews, where the truth started to come out. During a recent appearance on Power, 106 50 Cent opened up about how things really went down between him and the former pound-for-pound king of boxing. He recalled the moment things turned sour, specifically over a financial deal that never lived up to its promise. According to 50, Mayweather was supposed to invest approximately $2 million into their joint promotional company, the Money Team, TMT Promotions. But when the time came, Floyd backed out without warning. Left hanging and feeling duped, 50 decided to take matters into his own hands. He rebranded the company as SMS Promotions and continued solo. But the damage to their friendship was done. Their fallout became public, turning into a heated exchange on Twitter. While many assumed it was just entertainment, 50 made it clear this was real. The emotions, the words, the frustration, all of it came from a place of genuine hurt and betrayal. He also spoke about the darker side of Mayweather's legacy. According to 50, once the boxing world begins to fully understand how Floyd treated the fighters under him, scamming them, underpaying them, and manipulating contracts, he will never be included in serious discussions about the greatest of all time. People still rock with him because of the image, 50 said. But once that mask slips, everything changes. Interestingly, 50 touched on a more human element too. He reflected on how boxers, despite the fame, still crave real connection. They might chase the spotlight, women and riches, but in their quietest moments, they want someone who will be there when it all goes dark, when the cameras shut off and the money slows down. As for boxing today, 50 said he still watches. And when asked who he supports now, his answer was simple and direct. I'm rocking with Bud, a clear nod to Terrence Crawford, a fighter whose name now stands in stark contrast to everything 50 feels Mayweather has come to represent. Cent recently opened up about how his short-lived journey into boxing promotions started, not from personal ambition, but out of loyalty to a friend. In an honest reflection, he revealed that his involvement with Mayweather Promotions began because Floyd personally asked for his help right before serving a 90-day jail sentence. During an interview, 50 explained, "I did not set out to be a boxing promoter. That was never the plan. It all came from my relationship with Floyd." At the time, Mayweather had several fighters under his name and was worried about leaving them without guidance while he was behind bars. So, he turned to 50 Cent and asked him to help run things in his absence. Out of respect and loyalty, 50 agreed. But as he stepped into the role, he quickly realized things were not as they seemed. The operation lacked structure, transparency, and legitimacy. It did not take long for him to see that Mayweather Promotions was more of a name than a functioning business. The more he looked into it, the more red flags he found. Missing documents, no formal LLC, no clear financial records. It was chaos hidden behind the king. "When are you going to give me the money?" And each time, Floyd would brush it off or avoid the conversation entirely. That moment, when loyalty was met with silence, was the beginning of the end. 50 Cent realized he had invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into a dream that Floyd never fully intended to build. Instead of structure and strategy, it was all flash and distractions. This betrayal hit harder than most because it came from someone 50 truly believed in. But as the months passed, it became clear. While 50 was trying to build something lasting, Floyd was only interested in preserving an image. And for 50 Cent, that was the ultimate deal breaker. Unleashed the heat first. He mocked Floyd's fuzzy math with a classic roast, "Oh my god, if it's safe to say." I should say, LOL Champ is the richest special ed student, laugh my head out. "Oh yo, when you going to give me the money cause you already invested?" Right? Like when you 50 Cent did not hold back when it came to exposing what he believes is the truth behind Floyd Mayweather's so-called empire. In one of his most direct and brutal takes yet, 50 suggested that Floyd might not even understand what he actually owns. And even worse, that people close to him might be secretly robbing him blind. He does not even know what he owns, 50 said. Someone told him he lives in New York, but if that is true, the state will take 58% of everything he earns. And he just said that out loud, publicly. They are going to come for him. According to 50, Floyd has surrounded himself with people who smile to his face while draining his finances behind the scenes. And instead of running a tight ship, he is left believing he owns buildings and properties that he may not fully control. But 50 did not stop there. In classic 50 Cent fashion, he took to Instagram to deliver a savage dose of humor, posting a meme of Floyd dressed as Pinocchio, complete with the long nose. The caption was dripping with sarcasm. All this money, made no partners. All by myself. Over 1,000 apartments. I'm just getting started. Over 100 buildings and 99% in New York. It was a direct shot at Floyd's claims about real estate ownership, mocking the idea that he built his empire solo, and calling into question how much of it is real versus just for show. The jab was not just about money, it was about image, ego, and the illusion of success. Through it all, 50's message was clear. Behind the glitz and headlines, Floyd's empire might not be as solid as it seems. And in his eyes, the so-called money team may be nothing more than smoke, mirrors, and a long list of unpaid debts. Lol, that's cap, champ. 50 Cent clapped back with his signature blend of shade and swagger, laughing it off with a "green light gang, let's work." It was another classic 50 moment, bold, loud, and laced with humor, but behind the trolling was a beef that has been cooking for over a decade. This is not some random celebrity squabble. The tension between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather has history, real history, stretching all the way back to the early 2000s. "We've been friends since 2002, 50 once said. He flew out to Puerto Rico to support me at the Mix Show Summit before my music even blew up in 2003. That bond, forged before either of them fully took over their lanes, is part of what makes their fallout so personal and so public. Despite the constant back and forths and social media jabs, 50 has always made it clear, it is not hate. Even when I fight with him, I don't hate him, he said. That's my guy. That's my voice. But business, especially when trust and millions are involved, can change everything. According to 50, the drama truly began in 2012. That was the year Floyd approached him with the idea of joining forces to run Mayweather Promotions, right before Floyd began his 90-day jail sentence in Clark County Detention Center. What started as a gesture of trust and friendship eventually turned into silence, missing money, and a promotion company 50 says was never fully real to begin with. While 50 has made serious accusations, from financial mismanagement to alleged fraud, none of these claims have been legally confirmed. Floyd, as always, has remained tight-lipped or vague in response, choosing to let his lavish lifestyle do the talking. Still, this latest round of shots shows the feud is far from over. Every meme, every jab, every interview adds fuel to a fire that might never burn out. In the world of boxing and hip-hop, some battles go the distance. And this one? This one's still in the middle rounds, and both corners are talking. When Floyd Mayweather was locked up in Clark County, he reached out to someone he trusted, 50 Cent, and asked for help managing his boxing brand, Mayweather Promotions. But when 50 took a closer look, he discovered a hard truth. There was barely anything there. No official paperwork, no LLC, no real structure. It was a name without a foundation. So 50 did what he does best. He made moves, using his own money. Ever since whispers about Floyd Mayweather's shaky finances started swirling online, talks of bankruptcy, unpaid debts, and shady business practices, 50 Cent has been right there, lurking in the digital shadows, ready with his signature mix of mockery and insight. Once a close friend and business partner of the undefeated boxing champ, 50 has not hesitated to stoke the flames now that the spotlight is shifting toward Floyd's wallet. As the rumors picked up steam, 50 took to Instagram, letting loose with one of his classic posts, half joke, half jab. It was not just trolling for laughs. It came with an undertone of real resentment, the kind that only shows up when history is involved. To put it in 50's words, this was not about some petty falling out. It was about business and positioning. That's why I said no more puffy juice, he once explained. Not out of personal beef with Diddy, but because their products competed. If my corner is over here and your corner is over there, I got to make my corner feel cooler. That same logic applied with Floyd. At the time, Floyd was not bringing out new music, new ventures, or anything to keep their partnership fresh. From 50's perspective, if the other guy is not producing, the brand gets stale. And in a competitive world like theirs, image is everything. So as Mayweather's image took a few dents from allegations and speculation, 50 made sure to remind everyone just how shaky things might be behind the curtain. It is the same dynamic they have always had. Loyalty until loyalty becomes bad business. Then it becomes every man for himself. And 50's corner, as always, has to feel like the cooler one. Exactly. That was 50 Cent's whole strategy. Just stay active, he said. Keep showing up, keep posting, keep putting content out there. That constant movement, it worked. It kept his name buzzing while others slowed down. And in the world of celebrity image, perception is reality. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather, Olympic bronze medalist from Grand Rapids, Michigan, officially retired from boxing in 2017. But his story didn't end in the ring. Instead of disappearing into luxury, he pivoted toward exhibitions and started carving out a new identity. A businessman with a taste for legacy building. Post-retirement, Mayweather doubled down on real estate, flexing his financial muscle in a different kind of arena. News of his property investments started making headlines. Mansions, high-rise buildings, and apartment complexes across different states, especially in New York. To the public, it painted the picture of a man who was not just living off his past glory, but expanding his empire. Boxing gloves swapped for business deals. Whether those moves were truly as solid as they seemed is still up for debate, especially with whispers of financial trouble behind the scenes. But on paper, Floyd was doing what many former athletes fail to do, making the leap from fame to fortune in a new game entirely. Mayweather's supposed bankruptcy? It's not exactly new, just an old rumor that's found fresh legs. But this time, it's louder, stickier, and stirring up more than just casual chatter. The whispers have snowballed into full-blown speculation, with fans and critics alike analyzing every move, every post, and every quote that might hint at the truth. Behind the money. As expected, 50 Cent could not resist weighing in. But interestingly, he opened with a note of concern, writing, "Damn, they talking bad about Champ. Even though we beefin', he's still my brother." That was classic 50, shade laced with sentiment. It was a reminder that no matter how sharp the feud, history still holds weight. But just as quickly as the sympathy showed up, it vanished. In the next breath, 50 slid into familiar territory, asserting his independence and drawing a line between himself and Mayweather's inner circle. The message was clear: I'm not one of those hanger-ons. According to him, he never relied on Floyd's name or fortune to build his brand. He stood on his own. And in his eyes, that's what sets him apart from the rest of the people circling Champ, a circle that may be tighter than it looks now that the money talk is getting serious. Despite hanging up his gloves in 2017 with an undefeated record of 50-0, Floyd Mayweather's name continues to dominate boxing discussions. Even though he's retired and indulging in a lavish lifestyle, building a real estate empire in New York City, his past inside the ring and the controversies surrounding it won't seem to let him rest. One of the most significant shadows hanging over Mayweather is a long-standing issue from 2011 involving his involvement with Golden Boy Promotions. For much of his early career, Floyd fought on Golden Boy's cards, but behind the scenes, they handled the heavy lifting, the negotiations, the marketing, the planning. They built the infrastructure, and Mayweather simply stepped in to fight, earning massive payouts while others were responsible for the groundwork. This setup would come to haunt Floyd later, especially when critics, including 50 Cent, highlighted how Mayweather's promotion wasn't as impressive as it seemed. Floyd's brand was growing, but the people who helped build it, the ones who managed the logistics and the fighters, were left in the shadows, leading to tension